spent. The budget for the bridge was $35 billion, but Joseph Strauss was determined that 35 lives would not be lost on his bridge. A safety net was fabricated and suspended below the boatwreck, and although